How Pakistan could win air-to-air combat against Israel. The sky over the Middle East is a chessboard without borders. Fighters lift off long before their pilots know where the first move will land. And if a clash between Pakistan and Israel ever happened, it wouldn't start with cannon fire or dogfights. It would begin with silence, radars off, data links whispering, and a kill chain reaching hundreds of kilometers into the dark. First, a reality check. Pakistan and Israel don't share a border. Any encounter would likely unfold over neutral airspace or a distant theater, perhaps the Arabian Sea or a third country's skies, where tanker tracks, early warning aircraft, and stealth jets decide who even gets a clean shot. This is a game of systems versus systems, not just jet versus jet. Now look at Pakistan's transformation. Over the past few years, Islamabad has leaned hard into a single focused strategy. Fuse PAF pilot craft with China's sensor missile network. The budget followed the vision. Pakistan boosted defense spending roughly 17% to around $9 billion for FY 2025/26, while Beijing floated a high-end package, J-35 stealth fighters, KJ-500 AEW and C, and HQ-19 missile defense. Even if parts of that bundle take time, the direction is unmistakable. Pakistan is wiring itself into a Chinese-style long-range kill chain. At the sharp end are the jets. The J-10C, inducted in 2022, arrived with ESA radar, low observable shaping and native integration for China's long-reach air-to-air missiles. Meanwhile, the JF-17 Block 3, once dismissed as the budget option, now carries an AESA radar and the PL-15E missile. Recent footage and reporting confirmed that Block 3s are fitted with PL-15S, a milestone that shifts the Thunder from point defense to true BVR hunter. The missile is the message. PL-15E was built to push the fight far beyond the merge, with active radar guidance and a two-way link for mid-course updates. Export range figures are often cited around 100-145 kilometers. Pakistan doesn't need to outrun or outturn an opponent if it can see first, shoot first, and leave. That is the doctrine. Across the board, Israel's Air Force is no soft target. It fields F-35I Adir stealth fighters, the region's only fifth-gen fleet, backed by an expanding buy that takes the total to 75 airframes in the coming years. Add upgraded F-15I Ra'am and F-16I Sufa, plus elite EW suites tailored to Israeli doctrine. This is a force designed to kick down the door and survive the counterpunch. Where Israel is especially dangerous is airborne sensing and battle management. Its G550 item CAEW, ELW 2085, provides 360-degree surveillance and battle control. Think airborne command posts that stitch the whole sky into one live picture. On the weapons side, Israel pairs Python 5 for knife fight merges with IDF ER for beyond visual range shots. Modern, agile, and proven. And Israel is acquiring KC-46A tankers, extending how far and how long its fighters can press an air war. So how exactly could Pakistan win an air-to-air fight against a force like this? The answer isn't to meet Israel where it's strongest. It's to change the geometry of the battle before the first launch tone. Here's how that looks. Step 1. Fight under a canopy of eyes. Pakistan's edge comes when it flies inside its own radar web. Area on Saab 2000, Chinese ZDK-03 platforms, and ground-based sensors, so its shooters can stay EM silent. If KJ-500 joins later, the picture tightens even more. The kill chain becomes AWACS sees, fighters creep, PL-15E fires. Fighters drag out while the missile homes on a track the shooter never had to reveal. It's not glamorous, but it's lethal. Step 2. Go after the lifelines, not just the fighters. Israel's CAEW and tankers are the multipliers. Push them back and the front line shrinks. Pakistan doesn't need to destroy every escort. It needs to threaten the high-value assets with long-range BVR shots that force them to stand off. Even a handful of credible shots, real or feigned, can peel the support layer away. The moment those airborne brains and gas stations move back, the Adirs lose persistence and the picture becomes noisier. Step 3. Bury the picture in noise. Israel's EW is world-class, but PAF's path to survival is mass and deception. UAVs as decoys, expendable jammers, and strict MCON for shooters. The goal is to fracture the timeline. Make Israel react to multiple ghosts, burn fuel, and give PAF a window to fling long-range shots from Sanctuary. The side that dictates timing wins BVR more often than the side with the prettier jet. Step 4. Deny the merge. In a close-in knife fight, Python 5 and Israeli pilot experience are terrifying. Pakistan's win condition is to keep the fight long. PL-15E out, PL-10 in reserve, always under AWACS control, and always with a drag and swap rhythm. One pair fires and leaves under control of the picture, the next pair takes their place. It's a conveyor belt of pressure, not a single grand duel. Step 5. Choose the arena. Geography matters. Pakistan's best odds are near its own airspace or over waters where ground radar and SAM umbrellas add layers of threat. Force Israel to operate far from home on long tanker leashes, and every minute tilts the calculus. Fewer F-35 sorties on station, longer transit, more exposure to ambush BVR. If the KC-46S and CAEW have to hide far behind the line, even stealth jets begin to run out of options. Make no mistake, Israel brings brutal advantages, stealth signatures, deeply integrated EW, and decades of combat. But Pakistan's modernization has a specific aim. Turn the sky into a guided missile problem, not a visual dogfight. When J-10Cs and JF-17 Block 3s move in silence under an AWACS brain, their missiles reach out with the kind of certainty that makes even elite pilots fly defensively. And defensive pilots don't win air wars. To see how quickly narratives change, remember the recent South Asian flare-ups where J-10Cs and PL-15S reportedly scored real kills. However debated the details, the takeaway that China's kit works in combat has already entered planning rooms. For Pakistan, that's more than propaganda, it's deterrence. For any opponent, it's a shadow that stretches beyond the radar horizon. So picture the opening minutes of a hypothetical clash. High above the sea, Israel's ITOM stitches a clean portrait of the battle space. Far to the east, Pakistan's RAIA and ZDK-03 paint their own. Tankers trace lazy racetracks. Two pairs of J-10C drift forward, dark and quiet. A blip on the PAF console. An Israeli shooter pair noses in, certain they're unseen. A flash of green on the AWACS screen. Shoot. Two PL-15Es leap away and the J-10S immediately drag back under control, handing the intercept over to the next pair already sliding up. The Israeli pilots never saw the launch. The CAEW pushes them to break right, fuel checks start to pinch. Somewhere behind them, a KC-46 slants west to open distance. 50 seconds of confusion, 50 seconds of doubt, 50 seconds where tempo belongs to Pakistan. Can Pakistan guarantee victory? No! Against Israel's stealth, EW and seasoned air crews, nobody can promise a clean win. But can Pakistan create the conditions to win by fighting at long range, under its own sensors, and against the enemy's lifelines, rather than the tip of the spear? Absolutely. That's how a smaller air force beats a heavyweight. Not by playing the champion's game, but by changing the rules of the ring. In tomorrow's air wars, the deadliest weapon isn't always the jet you can see. It's the network that sees you first. And if these two ever meet for real, Pakistan's path to victory won't be a dramatic dogfight. It will be a quiet checkmate at 100 kilometers, delivered by a missile the target never saw, cued by an eye in the sky that never blinked. That's the future of air combat. That's how Pakistan could win.